So defund the police, though, was not a good idea. And you know who mostly didn't think it was a good idea was black people, because they want police in their neighborhoods, probably more than we need them in ours. Uh, but the Republicans tried to catch the Democrats with this, and they put this on, they brought it up in Congress,
Yeah.
and all the Democrats voted against it. The Democratic politicians were not for defunding the police. It's that radical fringe that has captured a lot of the media, academia, some of these cultural institutions that are not liberal anymore by my old school liberalism. The ACLU was all about free speech. They don't really believe in it anymore. They believe, in one of their chief people who is trans said, I will die on this hill of banning this book, which was a very reasonable book about a subject that's still debatable.
What was the subject of the book?
How we should treat kids who say they are trans.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of those issues, I think, which is, there's a centrist position that's like, yes, of course, it's a real thing that we should deal with, but we are a country that does it in a way no other country does anymore.
How so?
Allowing no age limits and do it by self-diagnosis of the child and make it illegal in some places to tell the parent. If the kid is in school and has transitioned using a different name and so forth, I've heard them say it's outing the child. Outing to a parent? I think a parent should be able to know pretty much what their kid's doing.
Yeah, normally, yeah. There are probably situations where the parents, maybe the child is being incested or
that is why they do it, because...
But you know what I feel? I feel like you're taking a problem that exists. There is somewhere some pretty dismissible and, far left thing, and you're making it a big issue, and I don't think it is.
This is the argument people say, and my answer to that is, I don't think you know. You're saying I don't know. I think you don't know how pervasive some of this stuff is. And you're right, many schools, it's just like school was sort of in our day. I talk to parents, and some of them say that, but there's also undeniable. You can see, like, you don't need a filter of any sort of media to see teachers who are making TikToks and telling you about how they conduct their class and so forth. And I imagine my parents would not approve of some of that stuff. And it's okay. It's okay. We want to have a world where the kids understand that it's okay to be whatever you are. Gay, trans, black, white. This is old school liberalism. It's another thing to sort of put out the idea so much that you might not be the default setting. There is a default setting. That doesn't mean it's better. It's just a different...
No, I don't understand what you mean.
Male and female.
Mm-hmm. What's the default setting is?
That babies are born either male or female.
Uh-huh.
But there is variations. That doesn't mean it's worse. And we respect it just as much.
Yeah.
But that's not what they do. That's not what a lot of the TikToks are about. They're not, it's a lot.
I know this because I've been around longer than you have. And what I have always noticed is that the beginning of any movement, people are very radical and very, I don't know what the right word is, but and then it kind of like joins reality more. And I think that's...
Yeah, like I said, the Democratic politicians, I feel like by and large, they do live in reality. They're in it more for the right reasons. They're more likely to be policy wonks and actually know the details. Republicans, very few of them ever know any detail. That's just not where their mind goes. Bush, Reagan, Trump, you think of them and you don't think of them like really mastering the subject, like Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. They were wonks, and that's what you really need to be an effective governor of the country or the state. But like Clinton and Obama, which are our last two successful Democratic presidents, two-term, both of them went much more toward the middle. That was their success. And I don't see anybody anymore going toward the middle. The Trump people, they just go toward being as big a dick as we can. We'll have a rally and like
let me just
say awful things and call her a whore, you know, just disgusting.
Okay, we're facing a climate crisis.
Oh, that too.
And we, according to science, I believe in paying attention to the science, we don't have a lot of time to do something about it. There comes a point where the tipping points
Absolutely.
happen, and then there's nothing we can do. It's out of our control. And we don't have a lot of time between now and the tipping points, okay? Which is stop all new fossil fuel development, cut our emissions in half very quickly, and then gradually phase out. That would probably be considered, maybe even by you, as radical.
Well, it doesn't even matter because it's never going to happen. That's just not something humans are willing to do.
It's going to have to happen.
No, it's,
or there's no future for us.
Well, first of all, that's not necessarily true. I've always been on your page.
Well, then how can you say that isn't necessarily true?
I'll get to it. Hey, everyone, I'm on Substack now. Check it out and subscribe now at billmaher.substack.com. What could be simpler than that? My name, then dot, substack.com.